Good Friday, everybody tuning in here on ysnlive.com. Week 2, we are here in the books on YSN. The Casual Sports Podcast has been a hit, so I thought no better way to kick things off than with my bright orange football socks that no one can see the designs on because they're so blindingly orange. But you know what? It is what it is. We're casual here.
They look like construction cones.
They do. They kind of, yeah. It's game day, though, on the Valley. We're going to be talking Matt and I's game coming up here in just a moment. Before we do that, let me give you an introduction if you haven't been here before. I'm Al Caberna to my left, and on your right, Mike Wolfgang. On my right, and your left, Matt Morrison. You know, most likely know us too. Mike's here on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, so you probably know him too. But
they have to know us because they listen to our games too, I bet.
And if they listened to us before on YouTube, they should know all
of us.
us.
Yeah, you should have been listening to us.
If you're our loyal
on
supporters,
YouTube
you should know all of us.
I mean, we're the best, show here at YSU.
I think that was my line.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
So I'm gonna agree.
All right, anyway, it's a football Friday.
It's football Friday. We got football this weekend. Lots of things going on. Let's get into things here from our question of the day from yesterday. Which teams has the most losses in NFL history? Well, it was pretty obvious if you know football. It was one of the first two teams in the NFL. It was the Cardinals. The Cardinals and the Bears, the first two teams in the NFL. Cardinals have lost the most games because of that. So that's your question from yesterday. Question of the day from today. It's a true or false question. So 50-50 odds instead of 20% odds. Yeah. So if you're just guessing, go ahead and guess. Former NBA player and coach Quinn Buckner also played college football. True or false? So tune in tomorrow. Or actually, not tomorrow. We're not here tomorrow. It's the weekend, boys. So tune in Monday to see whether or not you can get it right or, just come back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Monday. We're not doing a show tomorrow. I promise. We've had a few too many candy cigarettes before the show. We're not kidding either. We got candy cigarettes.
And we've got 3 more packs to go.
All right, so on today's show, talking Warren JFK versus Mogador. Matt and I's game later tonight, 7 p.m. on ysnlive.com. Our game of the week is what we're saying. I know there's a lot of hype on this Washington-Massillon game versus Austin-Town-Fitch, which should be a great game. We're not, trying to, put ourselves above. But, man, I got a good feeling about this Mogador, JFK, and Warren G. Harding. We'll get to that. We're going to talk a few college football games coming up as well. West Virginia versus Oklahoma. Texas Tech versus Texas. UCLA versus Stanford. Couple upsets potentially. And Thursday night football, Panthers versus the Texans. Were our predictions correct? Almost. And we're going to give an NFL preview for this coming Sunday. Also going to get to, if we have time, the college football playoff expansion talk that we were going to talk about yesterday. We ran out of time. If we don't get to it, who cares? And we got our favorite highlights from the week and Matt's very special award. All that and more coming up, folks. So let's get into things here with my light-up Halloween decorations. If you don't like Halloween decorations, oh well, they're up. They're not coming down.
Just don't pay attention to it.
I still have stockings up from Christmas, so.
Yeah.
With a Halloween twist to it, though. So
yeah. I got some of those fake plastic bloody knives, and they're in the stockings now, so.
Yeah.
It's a really festive thing going on here,
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into some sports here. Matt, we got Mogador, we got JFK tonight, 4-1 Wildcats, 3-1 Eagles. And we've been building up hype for this one all week long. Let's just hope it lives up to it. But Caleb Hadley, the young gun here for JFK, he's been wheeling and dealing. He's got a good duo of backs right behind him that have really been leading the charge.
They have a strong front line as well. So
both sides of this game does. Mogador has a fantastic offensive line. JFK has a fantastic offensive line. This is going to be some old school football, I got a feeling. Those first few games, they didn't let Hadley really let the ball go. They were depending on the ground game to get it done. It worked out well for the first few games. They took the loss to Garfield, and, man, Garfield is a fantastic team. I hope we get to cover them at some point. If not, oh well. But, man, have they been on fire this year and are in a strong place to take the MVAC Scarlet, or MVAC Gray. Don't let Brookfield stand in their way, though. It's probably the only team that might stand a chance against them, just how strong that team is. But this JFK squad, they're on a mission. They were in the state championship last year, came up short, and they sent their baseball team that has a few of these players on it to the state championship in baseball. They won it there. Now we're seeing these same kids coming back here this football season with a few losses, including their star quarterback, Cam Hollaba, who was an absolute legend for this team, leading them all the way to that state championship last season. And they also lost their starting running back from last year. So they brought back, a lot of good pieces, but missing their two keys, and they haven't missed a beat this season. 3-1 already with just the one loss to Garfield. I mean, they have put up quite a few points in every game. Their defenses look strong as well, and they are on a mission this season. You can tell the mentality they've had going through it. JFK is going to take this one right to Mogador. On the other side of this, though, the Wildcats, they have their all-time winningest head coach at the helm in his 18th season. He took the lead in Mogador for wins 2 years ago, and he's been building on it ever since. And this is a coach that knows how to produce really great teams. I mean, this is a culmination of 18 years for Mogador right here, building up into this one moment against JFK. And on the other side, JFK, they're dealing with a second-year head coach. In his first season, they go state championship. I mean, you can almost only go down from there unless he wins it this season. So this is just a huge matchup, despite the fact that these are two different divisions playing against each other. In the Ohio State rankings, they're about even.
Yeah, I mean, on the Wildcats side, the coaching staff, the whole staff has been together for, that whole time, 18 years.
Most of them have, yeah.
So they have good chemistry together. They know what it takes to win. And then going on the Eagles side, he's been it's his second year as a head coach.
2 years as a head coach, yes.
But he's been the defensive coordinator. He
Right.
was there for 2014. I think that's what he said when I talked to him yesterday. But, I got a couple comments from him. He's like, this game is going to be played from the line. Whoever wins it up the line and, doesn't turn the ball over, that's who's going to win the game.
Fundamental football. And
Out of the trenches.
We're going to get down into a game that's kind of turned into a rivalry here, despite the long distance in between them. About 50-minute drive between schools here. But last two matchups against these squads have been fierce battles.
Oh, yeah.
In total, these teams have only met each other 3 times since 2004. And Mogador's won 2 of the matchups, but JFK has the most recent one in a playoff matchup just a couple seasons ago. So we'll see how that affects us coming into it. I mean, the coaches know what's at stake here. Both of these programs have the same goals in mind. State championships. These aren't schools going in there like, oh, I want a conference championship. Let's settle for that. These are squads that are out there to win championships. I mean, you look at Mogador, I think they have 48 conference championships. Yeah. I mean, since 1964, I think it is, they've had 4 head coaches.
Yeah.
Just 4. That's Steelers level of head coaching, not bouncing around head coaches ever. I mean, that's fantastic from them. And you also look at their winning record, it's like over 500 wins in the last 50 years. So they are absolutely unstoppable. I mean, this is a unit in Mogador that is coming to play.
Yeah.
This is a powerhouse from the east side of Akron.
Yeah.
And then we have a powerhouse here growing out of the north side of Youngstown and Warren. And the Eagles are on a mission right now. And we'll see if they can be stopped. I don't know if Mogador can do it. Both sides have fantastic offenses and fantastic defenses.
It's going to be a great game.
This might just be not just the game of the week, game of the month, game of the year. This might not even be the game of the decade. This might be the game of the century right here. I know we're hyping it up. You got to tune in, folks. Matt and I on the call center tonight
and
in Warren.
And we got a new headset, too, so no technical difficulties.
Oh, why did you say something, Matt? No. Matt says no tech difficulties. Oh, man. Something's going to happen
Until
now.
something happens.
Well, hopefully not
we're
with
going to
the
lose the
headset.
other one.
Hopefully not. Oh, God.
Then you
The camera's going to go. Wires are going to go bad. Computer's going to break.
We knocked on the wood a lot.
It's going to be too cold and everything locks up.
Oh, man.
And we are supposed to get some chilly temperatures here tonight.
That just makes it even better.
Oh, right? I mean, when you have a ground-and-pound football game,
weather.
You get down the icy start of the fall. It's not too cold, but it's that first temperature drop, really, isn't it? And it just goes, oh, yeah, we've had blazing hot games. Yeah. Now you get down here, first temperature drop of the season, really. How does that impact it? It can get really slick out there once that temperature drops, especially because we've had no clouds all day long. We're not going to have clouds tonight, so none of that heat's sticking around. It's all going away. Sure. Everything's going to be slick.
That last week when we were at Brookfield, it was unbearable.
We
got up there, we set up all of our equipment.
It was like 85, 90 degrees, and the humidity was at 70%.
By the time we set up all the equipment, we were sweating so bad. You did most of the setting up. I was just standing there, and I was sweating so bad.
That's normally what happens, He fed me a quart every now and then. But let's get out of this one. If you want to tune into that game, which you should, and you're going to, you can tune in at 7 p.m. on ysnlive.com. Mogador at Warren JFK should be the game of the century. We're hyping it up. Matt and I will be there. Mike's not on the call, though. He doesn't do football games, so Maybe someday. But let's get into some college football stuff here. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m., a big matchup out of the Big 12, and a potential upset that is Oklahoma Sooners 3-0 versus the 2-1 West Virginia Mountaineers. And this Mountaineer squad is a team that might be something to reckon with. Yeah, they lost that first game of the season to Maryland, 24-30. After that, though, they took on their FCS opponent, the LIU Post Pioneers, won at 66-0. Then they went out there against a good Virginia Tech team, pulled the upset 27-21, and now they're coming in here in Oklahoma in what should be a fierce battle here. Oklahoma, obviously, everyone's been following them this season. They started off the rough game against Tulane, nearly got upset, and they go in last week, or week 2, and destroyed their FCS opponent 76-0. And then the Nebraska game, which everyone was like, oh, Oklahoma should blow them out. This isn't a good Nebraska team. Oklahoma comes in and deals with them no problem. So it just is like, oh my goodness, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And now we're looking at Oklahoma here, week 4. Look at their week 5 matchup. They got Kansas State on the horizon too. You know, this is a game they might get caught looking ahead and maybe overlooking West Virginia, a team that has been down since the departure of Will Greer just a few seasons back. They've been kind of on the down low since then. They're getting some of that momentum back, though, and if they can take it here in the start of Big 12 play, take down Oklahoma to start off the season, they're going to find themselves in the top 25.
Yeah, and you look at this game, I mean, Oklahoma's 17-point favorites in this game. And you see, I think the over-under in this game is 55. I think it's definitely going to be over. It's going to be a shootout. Because these Big 12 teams are all shootouts, and that can cause trouble for Oklahoma because shootout games are normally close.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a close game for sure.
I think this is the week where they get upset. They almost get upset by Tulane. They blow out their FC opponent, and then almost get upset by Nebraska. I think this is the week. I think the Mountaineers get to them, and I think they beat them.
I mean, this is a huge chance for Spencer Rattler to really prove the doubters wrong, though, for Oklahoma. He's had a lot of criticism so far, the inability to put up points. They finally have a good defense, and now the offense seems to be struggling, complete opposite of what we have seen in the recent years for this Oklahoma Sooner squad. And if Spencer Rattler steps it up in this game, I think he jumps back into the top 4, potentially for Heisman voting as well. If he can pull off a big win here, really blow out West Virginia is what they need to do. West Virginia's been in some close games too. Yeah. Let's not look at them and be like, oh, this team is not, this team's a great team. They're not a great team. They're a good team, I think, in the right moment, but it's in Oklahoma. It's under the lights. And with that, I give the Sooners a win here. I think they pull it out 17 points. I think they take this one in the late stages of it. I think West Virginia gives them a tough time for a good portion of this game, but I think Oklahoma ultimately wins this by 17.
Same here. I'm going Oklahoma in a little bit closer in margin. I'd say it's going to be a touchdown, maybe 10 points.
Okay.
I think because you normally see, like I said, in these shootout games, they're normally close games. But I think in the closer game, Oklahoma's been in a couple close games this year. They're going to pull away at home against a solid team, like you said, in West Virginia.
Okay.
Defense won the game last time, so we're going to see who takes it this time. Speaking of teams with no defense, the Texas Longhorns. Next team we're talking about here is they take on their foe in the same state, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red Raiders 3-0 on the seasons. No impressive wins, though. They put off 17 against University of Houston. They took off SF Austin in a close shootout, 28-22. They're in Texas. And then after that, they beat FIU 54-21. Now here against the 2-1 Longhorns team that is also kind of struggling along the season. They have a win over Rice last week. They lost to Arkansas, who's looking like a pretty good team right now. Yeah. And we even called for them to potentially pull off an upset later on this weekend. Potentially. Most likely not going to happen, but it could. And then they obviously took down a ranked Raging Cajuns to start out the season 38-18. So Longhorns, they look pretty okay coming into this game.
Yeah.
And a lot of question marks, though, for them, whether or not they can do it. Casey Thompson is the starting quarterback. They went 15 of 18 in their last game. They didn't put up a ton of yards, and he didn't put up a lot of yards through the air, but they win the game 58-0, and I think that shows the strength of how good this team is because, I mean, they didn't actually have any rushing touchdowns either. They had 2 passing touchdowns, or actually, pardon me, they had 2 passing touchdowns, and I had the wrong stat up, 6 rushing touchdowns for this team. That is where the strength is for the Texas Longhorns, as we're looking there at the stats. They run the ball, and that's not something we've seen with modern Texas football. Yeah. If you go back to when Texas was good, though, they ran the ball very efficiently, and that's what they have to get back to if they want to be successful here, especially once they enter SEC play. You have to have a good, balanced rush attack to be able to spread the defense out and make them not just sit back in coverage. You look at the SEC, and they have some of the best defensive backs in the entire country down there in SEC country. So, we're seeing Texas progress here from a Big 12 team to an SEC team. It'll take a while to come into fruition, but in Texas, noon game, under that hot Texas sun, the Red Raiders, the Longhorns, guys, what are your thoughts?
I mean, you talk about Texas, like you said, making the switch to the SEC. I like how they're making that transition out of that style of play in the Big 12 because it's not so much of a running league as it is the SEC. So that's going to be beneficial for them, and it seems like it's working so far for them.
Alec, you were asking me about this game this morning, and I didn't really have an answer for you. I think Texas, I think the Longhorns sneak by. I think they pick up the win. I don't know. It's kind of risky.
It is risky because it's Texas.
Yeah.
Right. They never pull out in big games when you really want to. I mean, Red Raiders, they're hot. They're 3-0. They haven't had a big win. Tyler's show has been up and down, but I think he steals the show tomorrow. I think Red Raiders are 4-0 when we're coming out of this weekend, and I think they take it by 10.
Matt, I want to say Texas because I do like Texas.
I like Texas. I think they maybe.
I'm going Texas. I don't trust Texas. That's
maybe
just
by a field goal if they win. It's
I took
close.
Texas Tech by 10.
I just don't.
We don't really see that many close games in college football.
No.
Look at what we had on the season.
We expect a lot, but we don't get a lot.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, one of these teams normally pulling out by 10, 15 points in that last quarter of play. And, we have seen a few close games. But at the end of the day, there's still one possession or more, and it's not a field goal most of the time. So I got Red Raiders by 10.
And like some of the blowouts that we predict, like last week with Alabama, wasn't a blowout. So sometimes it goes whatever against your saying. So this is college football.
Next matchup on our slate here, the Stanford Cardinals, 2-1, hosting a number 24 ranked UCLA Bruins, coming off the tough loss to Fresno State, who now is ranked above them at 22. And UCLA's offense has been ticking. You look at them on the season, even in the loss, putting up 37 points. And their 2 wins, they're averaging around 41 points as well. So, I mean, this is a team loaded with talent. DTR is their quarterback, I think, is the only guy that can really lead this UCLA program. And when we're talking, California football, we're not normally talking UCLA. It's USC. But whatever it is, whatever they've been doing over there in UCLA, it has been working this year. And it has been working with DTR. Obviously, they had a kind of a average year the last 2 years with them in that town. Yeah. But here, I don't know. I like what they're doing. They're turning things around. On the other side, Stanford, they started out bad, but then they picked up a big win over USC. Then USC went and fired their head coach after the game, and then they go and take on Vanderbilt, an SEC team that shouldn't be an SEC team. They're just there to make the grades look better for the SEC. But, they win the game. They're on a 2-game win streak after a Week 1 loss to what we're finding out is a good ranked Kansas State team. So now you're going in here against another good ranked UCLA team. Stanford knows what they're going up against. They've had a tough matchup on the season already. And UCLA, on the other hand, really hasn't had that game where they've shown that they are really good this year. The LSU game against an LSU team that's okay. I don't think they're anywhere close to what they have been.
No, definitely not.
But they're okay. They won that by 11 points, though. Then you go up against Fresno State, who's what looks like the hardest team they face this season, and they lose it by 3. I like UCLA, but I don't know if they put it together yet.
No.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, they've shown some good things, obviously, compared to what they have been.
Tremendous things. I like their quarterback, DTR. He's young. He's developing. I like the coach he's under. Mac Brown, legendary coach.
That's UNC.
Oh, my bad. Chip Kelly, my bad.
That's the second time you've done that on the show.
I know. Well, I always confuse them.
Yeah, it happens.
Same colors. Chip Kelly, also, he's a legendary coach, too. Oregon was unstoppable with him. Now they're finally getting back to what they used to look like with Chip Kelly, finally, after going through a couple head coaches. But, I think I like the coaching. I like, the quarterback. I think, they're young. I think maybe you said that they haven't had that big win yet. I think this is it.
They definitely had that big challenge.
Yeah.
Last week against Fresno State, that's definitely been the biggest challenge I would say so far. Yeah. They're definitely battle tested, but this game's kind of weird, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of weird games this weekend as teams are starting conference play here. We've seen these teams out of conference already for 3-4 weeks. Now we're getting into conference play. Obviously, the Big Ten's already started theirs. We know what the Big Ten's kind of shaping up already. Now this is the first chance we're seeing how is the Pac-12 shaping up against each other as a conference that has been down in recent years. I mean, they've only been able to produce 1 or 2 teams in any given week that are in the top 25. They need UCLA to win this game, and I think they need it to be close, too, because they need Stanford to look like a good team who lost to a ranked Big 12 team, because with Oregon's big win over Ohio State, this is the Pac-12's time to show that they are, once again, a premier conference in college football, and until they do that, I mean, this is a team that is, this is a conference that has so many question marks and could actually hurt Oregon's chances if they lose a game of getting into the playoffs, even with the big win over Ohio State.
Yeah, like you're saying with this game, I think if a close game, a competitive game, would show that the conference is competitive.
Right.
Like, it would show that both these teams are competitive, and it's worth at least mentioning both of these teams. I say that they're not just some pushovers that they used to be.
Exactly that. So, Matt, who did you pick in this one? You said UCLA?
I got UCLA.
What about you, Mike?
I'm going to go Stanford.
Okay, so 2-1 UCLA, 2-1 Stanford. I'm on the DTR train, man. I've been on it all season.
I don't have too much of an explanation either. It's just kind of, I'm just picking Stanford.
I mean, it's not a bad choice, but like looking at this game, there's something about UCLA right now that I just don't like. Coming off of the Fresno State game, 3-point loss to a team that I didn't think was as good as them. I thought they were going to give them a tough chance, and I think I did pick the upset for Fresno State, but it was a game UCLA probably should have won. They just didn't. This is a game, again, they probably should win, but I don't think they do. I got Stanford as well. I like DTR. I like UCLA. I like their running backs with Charbonnet, but I just don't think they can get this one done. They have struggled when they needed to be great.
So what's wrong? Let's see.
Right. Well, that's going to pretty much do here for our college part of the broadcast. We got a long ways to go, though. We're going to talk Thursday night football last night here. Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans. My predictions score-wise was almost there. I was close on it.
Before you get into the score, Alec, look at this box score. Texans, no point in the first quarter. That's your favorite stat. And in the third quarter, that's also your favorite stat.
Yeah.
So that cost them.
Also, didn't I say that they were going to struggle in that first quarter? And they weren't going to score. It was going to be 14-0. It was 7-0. And then they make it close, go 7-6 in the half. I think I had it going 14-7 into the half. And then my second half was where I got it wrong, besides the fact that I had Carolina pulling out in the fourth quarter. So I was in there. I was in the general range.
You were borderline. You were close.
But 24-9 win for Sam Darnold, and
I think we all had Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Sam Darnold's really proving the haters wrong, and I'm one of those haters he's proven wrong.
I'm loving it. I always like Sam Darnold.
I'm on the Sam Darnold train.
I'm glad he's looking good.
He's great. He's looking pretty good. But
right, so you look at this game from last night, and statistically, you go back. Last time Carolina started 3-0, their quarterback was the MVP, and they were in the Super Bowl. Cam Newton. So Darnold is putting up good numbers so far. 304 yards, 23-34. No touchdowns for him, though, on the game. Christian McCaffrey down with an injured, so the Oklahoma State star, who probably should have won the Heisman when he was in college.
Yep.
Chuba Hubbard came in there, 11 carries, 52 yards. Not bad for him. Royce Freeman got some carries, 5 for 17. And Tommy Tremble got the lone touchdown there in the rushing department on 1 carry for 7 yards. And it was all the DJ Moore offensively, really, in the passing game. 8 receptions, 126 yards. Terrace Marshall was right there, too, 4 for 48. But, they didn't really get a lot of production here out of their passing game, despite the numbers looking good for Sam Darnold. So the defense has to be given a lot of credit here in this ball game for helping this squad out. When they didn't put up a lot of points, they were able to get in there. Sam Darnold had 2 rushing touchdowns. And there's all 3 touchdowns, 2 from Darnold, 1 from Tremble. Carolina still has to score more. I think they need to find that department, because we've been talking about it. It's like the offense is looking good, but there still seems to be a few holes for them so far in terms of putting up big games. 19 against the Jets, 26 against the Saints, and 24 here against the Texans. I think most offense corners would like to see that number jump up over 30 and find the end zone through the air. Such a big part of the NFL. Getting one of those big chunk plays that finds you in the end zone, the momentum turners. This is Texans right now. Carolina are going to get some more difficult matchups down the line. Cowboys next week, you're not going to win that game on the ground. You have to match Dak Prescott through the air at some point in that game. So they're going to need Darnold to find the end zone sometime without his legs next week.
Yeah, I agree. And as far as this game, like you said, Darnold's stat line looks pretty good. It's just their defense was flying around, especially in that first quarter. They were electric in the first half overall. So their defense is definitely something to keep an eye on with this team.
Absolutely. And it wasn't too bad of a debut on the other side. Davis Mills, 19-28, 168 yards, a touchdown for him. Clearly, the game plan wasn't to let him throw the ball around because, I mean, they didn't have him do it too much, but they also didn't have the ball very much. No. I mean, you look at their running backs, they split 15 carries between the three, gave one to the running back and one to the quarterback. I mean, they didn't have a ton of production in that department either, and I think that's kind of something we've been saying with teams with younger quarterbacks in there. Run the ball, take the stress off your quarterback.
Yeah, Mark Ingram in your backfield. Use him. I mean, Davis Mills was sacked 4 times. I mean, the offensive line wasn't really much to say for either.
Yeah.
At least when you run the ball, you get it off to that back quicker, and he can get through the holes quicker. But I mean, Davis Mills was a sitting duck most of the night.
Yeah, I mean, as far as our passing game, he couldn't really get much going either.
Yeah, Mark Ingram and David Johnson in your back.
Brandon Cooks has been really the lone wide receiver for this Texan squad this season. I mean, under Terron Taylor, he was doing well. Now here with Davis Mills, he's doing good. And Brandon Cooks on the season right now, he's impressing, I think, a lot of people. Came out of the draft in the first round back in 2014, and you've kind of seen a slow progression of him. And I think he's really cementing himself down in the Texans organization here with the backup quarterbacks still being able to produce when you don't have a guy like Deshaun Watson throwing it to you.
Yeah, I mean, find ways to make plays.
And, Texans 1-2 on the season. They beat the Jaguars in a great game to start out the season, but then they, had a team, they had to go up against the Browns, which is never going to be easy. Then they get the short week, Thursday Night Football, against the Panthers squad that has been rolling along right now. And they just couldn't get it done.
Now look, next 2 weeks.
Right, next 2 weeks they got the Bills and the Patriots from the AFC East. So then after that they got the Colts.
And then the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And then Rams.
Keep going down. Keep going down.
Then Dolphins and Titans. Then they get the Jets. Woohoo! Then Colts. Then Seahawks. Then the Jaguars. Then Chargers. Then the Niners. Then let's finish it off against DH, who nearly had 200 rushing yards. How often are we saying there's a running back in the NFL that got nearly 200 rushing yards in a game? It's not terribly often that a back goes up that high.
Nope.
I mean, he did have 36 carries. But the fact that a running back can go 36 carries is the impressive stat line there, I think.
We talked about it yesterday. He's just insane. He's just a rare breed.
Force of nature.
He's just different.
Built different, baby. All right, let's get in here. Let's preview some of these NFL games coming up for this weekend. We'll start things off. The 0-2 Colts, the 1-1 Titans. Can Derrick Henry run over some people again? They have the 12th best offense and the 23rd worst defense. 5th best rushing offense, though, and that's obviously where we see Tennessee be their strongest. It's on that rushing. It's on the ground, and obviously, passing game is 16th. It's okay. I think they'll live with that with the way Derrick Henry's producing. They're not going to take away carries from him to let Tannehill throw the football. Tannehill's getting up there in age, but he's shown he produces when they need him to. Yeah. They're going to rely on DH still on the ground.
Do we know what's going on with Carson Wentz yet? As far as I know, he's still out.
I just saw something.
With both ankles out. Terrible luck for him, though.
It'll be decided pregame.
Decided pregame?
Yeah, that's what Twitter said at least.
Yeah, he's returned to practice on Friday here. So it'll be a call on the time on whether or not he'll be good to go. So I think that will play a big part into this ball game because obviously the Colts have struggled so far. 19th in passing offense, 17th in rushing offense, 17th in defense. So they need this game here to really get some momentum on the season. They're 0-2 right now. Your playoff push starts here if you're 0-2. Any of these 0-2 teams here now, you need a win now. You can't start 0-3.
You got to get in the win column. But as far as this game, I definitely like Tennessee a lot because I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz, and if he does play, I don't know what you're getting in him with two ankles, 2 bad ankles. So, and like you said, Alec, they haven't really put much together so far. Their rushing and passing doesn't really look too good. So.
I got DH and the Titans by 17.
Somewhere around that area. That's the one I have. That's probably right.
I say 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, here's the team that's going to find the win column for the first time, the 0-2 Falcons or the 0-2 Giants. They're going to take each other on, and I mean, realistically, the Giants haven't looked terrible so far. Daniel Jones, if you're looking at the fantasy stats for him, he's in the top 10 right now in quarterback fantasy stats. So he's been doing his job despite the fact that passing offense sits at just 17th. They have to find a way to get Saquon the ball in open space. He has also got to find a way to make some big plays when they can't do it. You know what? You're not always going to get an open lane off the line. You have to create your own. You have to break tackles. You got to get through that line, and that's something we haven't seen out of Saquon this year. We saw it his rookie year. He looked like he was going to be better than Ezekiel Elliott's, first few seasons in the league. We haven't seen that recently. Saquon has not lived up to the hype. I haven't liked him so far this season. I dropped him off of my fantasy football team to pick up somebody else. He hasn't produced, and this is a defense that's even worse, 25th right now in the league. And then you go over to the flip side of this, the Falcons are terrible as well. They have a better defense on ranked 20th, but 25th offense, 24th in passing, 24th in rushing. So they aren't looking great into this one either, and I don't think Matt Ryan has a good day either. I have the Giants taking this one by 10.
Alec, you talked about the Giants with Saquon Barkley getting him the ball more. I mean, we've even talked about this in the past. What works so well for Urban Meyer at Ohio State? Get your athletes in space and give them the ball. That's what you do with Saquon Barkley. That's what he did at Penn State.
Yeah.
So let's get that working with the Giants. I want to see more out of him, and
they don't even have to hand it off to him inside the pocket. Just roll him out right, or even send him downfield. He's a good wide receiving back.
Get him in space. Throw some bubble screen. I mean, like you said, get him down the field. There's other ways. There's better ways to give him the ball than just handing it off to him. He's that good of an athlete where they can find different ways.
Sorry, my air conditioner's broken, so all the windows are open. If you just heard a loud freaking motorcycle drive past. We're waiting on the AC to get fixed here eventually. Luckily, it's getting cooler out there, so not bad for us here in the studio of my apartment. It's not a studio apartment, but the studio of my apartment.
Close enough.
Right? So what was your predictions for this one?
I got the Giants, 2 scores, 10 points, 14 points.
I think they're going to find more ways to get Saquon involved.
Absolutely.
I think Daniel Jones has a good game finally.
He hasn't looked terrible either.
Right. He had a great game against Washington.
And I just think
Washington defense, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. But, I think this is a game where he really comes out and he looks probably the best he does all season against a Falcons team that has been abysmal.
Yeah.
So next game up here, 1-1 LA Chargers. Can they get it done against the 31st worst defense in the league, the 1-1 Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, they have a higher ranked offense, just below them in terms of passing offense, and just above them in terms of rushing offense. It's 6th place for the Chargers in passing, 3rd place in passing for Kansas City. So Herbert's done a great job there offensively. Both teams need to get the ground game involved more.
Yeah.
Having Pat Mahomes do everything on offense, you saw it last week out. It doesn't produce all the time. It will produce.
Yeah,
but
not all the time.
At the end of the day, they need to help out their defense. It's got to start here against the Chargers team that, while they have been good in their games, they haven't put up a large amount of points. This is a great game for the Chiefs defense to really come out there and make a statement and really finally, go out there and stop a team's offense. We haven't seen it so far. Granted, they faced the Browns and the Ravens in back-to-back weeks here to start things out. And obviously, 2 good offenses they're going up against. So we're going to see here if this defense is really as bad as everyone thinks it is, or have they just faced 2 really good offenses. And I think it's a mixture of both there. But this is a game that Mahomes in the offense needs to find Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a few other guys in the backfield, and just slow this game down. They don't need to blow this team out. How about they slow this thing down, win the time of possession by a large margin, and see if in a shorter game their defense can hold up.
I mean, this is what I was saying yesterday about their defense. They have the 2 teams they played so far. I mean, they're no pushovers. Their offense, some of the better offenses. But with Kansas City's defense, their offense is fine. But my point yesterday about their defense is you normally don't look at the defense and say, hey, they're one of the best ones in the league.
Right.
That's my argument against their defense. So if they can make improvements, I mean, their offense is already their offense. If they make improvements on defense, they're going to be unbeatable. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see a game where they have to make a statement on defense like you were touching on.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs defense, we talked about this yesterday. I mean, they have Tyrann Mathieu, and that guy is a beast. He can pick the ball off.
Yeah.
He could be a good receiver too from an offense.
Honey Badger.
But I like they have to run Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That guy's got speed. He can glide.
Yeah, I have him on my fantasy team. I've been waiting for some points out of him.
Yeah.
We saw it last season on a team that went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. He was a big part of that late stage of the season. Once they put him in, once they gave him the carries, he really took off. We're waiting for that again.
And the Chiefs picked him over J.K. Dobbins and who else?
DeAndre Swift. So they must have saw something in him. You picked him over those guys. There is something in him, so use them. Start running them. I know, and this is like something we've been waiting to see. It's like, granted, on one side of this, we said they faced two really good offenses. The Ravens and the Browns both have really good defenses as well. So, that's part of it. They tried to game plan around strong defensive lines on both sides, so that's why they haven't ran the football, which is why I want to see this game. They run the football more, take the clock, give the defense a break. I think the Chiefs win this, and I hope it's low scoring. I hope this is a game they win 20-10.
That's what I'm looking for.
We know their passing game's great, with Tyreek Hill and Hardman and,
Kelsey.
Kelsey and, Mahomes throwing it. Teams know that, and teams are going to be on the alert with that. So this is where you got to get that running game going.
Well, they're not going to stop the passing game.
No, they're not going to stop the passing game.
At least,
but they're going to detain it a little bit. They're not going to stop it. But once they get comfortable, they're going to pass it, run it. They'll be like, oh, no.
Got to have a running game.
Got to get them comfortable with the passing game, and then, boom, run Edwards-Helaire.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. AFC North matchup, 1-1 Steelers, 1-1 Bengals. And how about the Bengals defense right now? Ranked 6th in the NFL. Rushing offense for them, it's Joe Mixon, 19th in the league. Joe Mixon's a beast on the ground.
Yeah.
He was 4th in the league just a few years ago. And on the flip side of this, Steelers still haven't found the ground game with Najee Harris. I mean, they've been giving him the ball a little bit more here and there, but the fact that they rank 32nd in the NFL, dead last, I think it says something about the offensive line they're working with. You even look at the passing game, it's only 18th.
Yeah.
This Steelers squad has been helped only by their defense, who only ranks 21st. I mean, this is a team that was having a lot of talk going into the season about this team could be 4th place in the AFC North. And that's something you're not talking about with Mike Tomlin, Big Ben, this infatuatingly great defense of Steelers history.
Just the Pittsburgh Steelers in general.
Right, this is the Steelers, and there's talks that this is a team that could be 4th place in the AFC North here in the next season or two. And right now, people are saying it could be this season as well, with just the poor performance of their offense, ranked 28th. They have a worse offense than the Bengals, a team that has been a bottom feeder in the AFC North here the last few years, and they've been down there since really for a while. Obviously, the Browns were even farther below them. You have the bottom feeders, then you have stuff that's like buried in the mud for 500 feet of crap. Then there's the Browns. That's where the Browns were. We've worked ourselves out of the crap here, and let's just say they're hopefully not falling back into that anytime soon. Please, I need something here for at least a decade. Give me something. But back to this game.
Let's not push a decade. Maybe just a couple years.
Give me a decade.
Well, yeah, but baby steps here.
I got Baker Mayfield. Give me a decade. Let him be a good quarterback for now. Hey, we have had a bad quarterback 20 years of this franchise.
That's what I'm saying. It's baby steps, Al. You should know this more than anybody. You're a Browns fan.
They have Devin Bush. Bush returning.
Let's talk this game. Instead of 50 feet of crap and then the Browns.
They have Devin Bush returning. It's hopeful that T.J. Watt will return. Hopefully he does. He wants to play. The door is open for him to play, and that's the team right there. It's their defense. Okay?
I mean, that's what we talk about when we talk about the Steelers. It's not their offense. Yeah. We know their offense is nothing special.
On the offensive side, there's not too many good things to say about it. We've talked about their receivers, and I like that. I mean, this is my team. The receivers, they don't have that number one guy. They're trying to get Najee going to be their number one guy on offense because, Big Ben's old and can't perform like he did, 5-6 years ago.
He performed last year just fine.
Yeah. This is what I think that needs to happen, okay? They ran this offense, against the Raiders, but didn't do it the whole game. And when they did, they scored. No-huddle offense. Run the no-huddle offense.
Get some tempo going.
Yeah.
I don't know if Big Ben can do that, though. I mean...
They did it, and they scored off it. And they never went back to it. They never went back to it.
Once, though. I mean, if they want to pull it in there one time.
Yeah.
I mean, pull it out once or twice a game. I don't think, this offensive line is good enough to consistently run the no-huddle. Yeah. I don't think Big Ben has the stamina anymore to run the no-huddle. I think there's probably one or two guys on this offense that can do the no-huddle, and one of them just came out of Alabama, Najee Harris.
Yeah. Their offensive line's young. They can move quick. So I say do it. It worked once. They didn't go back to it. So
does the flea flicker. Yeah. Next time, it's a pick six.
Yeah, but, that's a different thing.
Oh, you just saw on the screen. Is Cincinnati a 4-point favorite here?
Cincinnati's a 4-point
When's the last time they have it against the Steelers? It's been a while for them.
It's been a minute.
Mike Tomlin never had a losing season with the Steelers, so...
I don't think he will this year.
If the offense can't perform, man...
They have to figure something out.
They do. But, last time, look at the last meeting. December 21st, 2020, 27-17, the Bengals beat you.
Yeah.
So. And I even talked about this last year, like I keep saying, when they were 11-0, their offense wasn't... It was good, but it wasn't impressive.
No.
So, it's definitely not looking what it was during that stretch.
Everybody was saying, we lost Villanueva, he was a huge loss. I'm like, he's horrible with the Ravens. He's getting beat every time, so...
At least he won this week.
Yeah.
Or last week.
Well, same record, though.
Yeah, same record.
But in this game, I don't know. Matt, I hate to say it to you, but I think I like Cincinnati in this game.
You can say it.
Matt, who are you picking?
I'm not picking the Bengals. The Steelers are my team. Pittsburgh's going to win.
I think this is going to be a low-scoring, really bad game.
Boring. It's going to be
17-14 Pittsburgh. That's
probably a good pick, except I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to go 17-14 Bengals. I'm going to flip it around on its head. Bengals don't cover.
They got to contain, obviously Burrow and Mixon. and if he throws it, watch out for Chase.
Yeah,
that guy can break away.
I'm going 21-14 Bengals. I don't know.
I like that pick.
I don't know about some of the guys on your defense yet. Are they good to go?
Got
are they going to be the same?
Guys coming back. We know the Bengals offensive line is not, steady yet. They're not good. They're not that good yet. So I say, rush your front four.
That's an interesting game to keep an eye on.
It is, though. This could really pass the torch here in the AFC North.
Rush Hayward, rush Stephon to it. Then you got Watt, and Watt, if he comes back, and Bush to back you guys up. Rush that front four.
Yeah.
Bengals O-line has struggled.
They have. This is what you got to do. The defense has to win the game. I say the defense has to score, too.
You think a turnover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next game up here, it might be the worst offense in football. They still have a top 10 defense in the NFL. And they've got a starting quarterback that's never lost a game in the state of Ohio. Yeah. Justin Fields, the starter this week for the Chicago Bears, in his return to the Buckeye State to take on the Cleveland Browns, who are bringing back a star of their own. Odell Beckham Jr., after they lose Jarvis Landry the last Sunday, Odell is back in. What did I say? We're never going to have these two play together on the same field ever again.
You might not.
But Odell's back. But on the other, this is an interesting game, I think, in its own right of... Matt Nagy, head coach for the Bears, has said multiple times this week, once healthy, Andy Dalton is our starter. So, you look at that and go, well, the 31st worst passing offense in the league. Can you really get any worse if you put in a rookie quarterback? And this is obviously what you guys have said earlier. And I said it was week 6. No later, Justin Fields would be the starter for this team. I think he has a chance here to take this in week 3.
Absolutely.
If he comes out here, dominates... I think they could name him the starter week 4.
Because this is my point.
This is a statement. Sorry, Mike. This is the statement game right here. This is Justin Fields. He led this Buckeyes team to a championship appearance. Okay, he is, he is well and ready to take over this job right now. He can come out and make plays.
I think the thing though in his favor that doesn't work for him is lack of weapons on their offense.
Yeah.
You
have Allen Robinson,
but nobody really stands out outside of that.
No.
So
honestly, I think a big piece that they were missing was Tariq Cohen. That guy's been hurt for a while.
Yeah.
He showed some splash.
The bright side for him, though, 10th best rushing offense, and I think that's going to help Justin Fields. We know when he played at Ohio State, he loved the read option. Since he's been in Chicago, when they've brought him out there, they have had him run the read option, RPOs. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. unfortunately, he's going up against the 14th best defense in the league, a team that shut down Mahomes for half of football and allowed a decent bit of points to a rookie in Davis Mills, who was doing pretty good in that game after the loss to Toronto Taylor. But Browns still came out on top, 31-21 last week. They have the 4th best rushing offense. Everybody knows that. It's Chubb, it's Hunt, the two-head monster of Cleveland. Passing game's 14th. We're still waiting for that to really hit its mark. But I think right now with that offense, same thing with Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. I'll take 14th best passing, right in there, middle of the road, if I can win on the ground. I mean, that's Browns football. That's what they've been last year when they were really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't Baker Mayfield winning the game. It was Chubb. Despite the fact that we already talked about this, Baker's the face of the franchise, and he's the superstar of the team. He's not the best player on the team by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Yeah.
But he is that face. He is the mentality.
He fits in the system.
So long as he looks like, hey, I am that cocky MFer who's ready to go in here and take control of my city, this team falls in right behind him. We'll see how they do without Jarvis. We know that Baker Mayfield, when he's got Odell out there, likes to favor him with the football. He doesn't spread the ball out as well. And I kind of said it after they lost Odell last year. I think the team was going to be better. They weren't. They ended up being a lot better in terms of their ability to spread out the football. And I think coming back this year, Baker Mayfield, I hope, has learned his lessons with that and not forcing it to Odell. Because forcing it to Odell is what tore his ACL.
Definitely.
He forced it to him. It was an interception. Odell had to go run somebody down and play a defender. That's not Odell. Give Odell the ball when he's open. Throw it to him in the end zone when you need a big play. That's Odell. He's got sticky hands. Find your speedster and Schwartz. Find your big guys in that tight end room. Harrison Bryant, Njoku, Hooper. You have 3 fantastic tight ends.
Yeah.
Use them, get Hunt out of the backfield, swing it out to him, and put Chubb in there and let him punch through this defense. But on the flip side, this is the best defense the Browns have faced so far, and they've looked kind of okay on offense against the Texans. He liked the 31 points put up there, but it wasn't a spectacular defense they were going up against. In week 1, obviously, they struggled in the second half against the Chiefs defense that we just said was 31st.
I mean, you're talking about a Bears defense is probably the reason why they were in the playoffs last year.
Yes.
Because the same offense last year, they had the same issues.
Roquan Smith and, of course, Khalil Mack back there. That guy's in the backfield, every play almost. And that's where they have to get back and get Baker and get Chubb.
This was a team that forced 3 interceptions against Joe Burrow last week against the Bengals. So they pulled out the win. Justin Fields, the starting quarterback. I think 10-0 and starts in the state of Ohio. I don't think he makes it 11. I think the Browns take it. I think they take this one 24-7, 24-10.
I want to pick the Bears, but it's not the safe pick because
I'm not going with the safe picks here.
I want to see. I just don't. I want to see how Baker is with Odell back. Like you said, I hope he learned his lesson. I hope he's not forcing stuff to him, especially with Odell coming back off an injury like that. I just don't think I could pick the Bears because, like you said, their offense is so unimpressive.
And you look at this game. What have we seen rookie quarterbacks in their starts this year? They haven't been fantastic. Their starts, for the most part, have been losses.
Fields, he's not the strongest guy. He's got poise, though. He has poise.
Definitely does.
And, the Browns, they have to rattle him. That's their main focus, okay?
And they can do that.
Oh, absolutely. But Browns haven't been, their defense is great, but it's those third downs these past couple weeks that they've been having trouble with. And that's where Fields has to come out. Those short third downs, wheel out, get down to Robinson. Allen Robinson's a great receiver, I think. But if you can't find him or whoever else you got out there, take off because you can do it.
You got the legs.
Yeah.
So you're going Bears?
I didn't say that.
Okay. You said I'm not taking the safe picks here.
Well, I haven't been. I've taken Pittsburgh. You got even with college. So.
Well, Pittsburgh should win.
They should.
Technically, the 4-point underdog. Take your pick, Matt.
I got Cleveland.
Score?
I got Cleveland. Close game. I got like 20-17. I got a close game.
I got like 24-10.
That's a better pick, I think.
Yeah.
I got closer. I think Fields does some surprising plays that nobody expects.
I think he surprised people. I still think he's going to throw 2 picks.
Oh, yeah.
I think he still throws 2 picks.
I hope he shows. This is what happens. I hope he shows enough to get Nagy's head out of you-know-what, because Dalton is not the guy, okay? He's not. He is not. He's stressed that, too. He's like, as soon as he's healthy, he's our guy. I want Fields to change his mind like that, and that's going to happen.
Nick Foles backup quarterback this week as well.
Yeah, Nick Foles too.
They got a lot of money on that bench.
They do.
It feels like Cleveland, but it's just Kevin Love.
They do.
At least they have options. We just have one guy.
Right. We have Kevin Love and it's $60 million sitting on the bench. Although, what's it, 30 this year?
Something like that.
Lovely. Next game here on the slate, the 1-1 Ravens coming off the big win against the Chiefs, taking on the 0-2 Detroit Lions in what might be a tough matchup, considering the Ravens' defense has been pretty poor, 30th in the league right now, but number 1 rushing offense, 21st in passing. Lamar Jackson's got to find his momentum through the year. He was doing great, last 2 seasons, really mixing in the passing game. But we haven't seen it this season in his ability to get it downfield. And Matt's been very critical so far in the season. And Detroit's been a squad that's middle of the road right now. They're 0-2.
Yeah.
I think this is a great game for them to come out there with Jared Goff and potentially pull off an upset against a team I think still riding the high of Kansas City.
Yeah.
This game, I'm just going to give you my score prediction now. I think Ravens 31, Lions will go 20 because I don't know about the Baltimore defense yet, so I'm going to go 20.
I'll go 28-17 to the Ravens.
I got Ravens by at least 2 scores. Even though I hate to say it, I don't like them at all. But it's
They're
Detroit.
good. You got to admit it. They're good.
They're good, and it's Detroit.
All right, how about we speed run a few of these here? 1-1 Patriots, 1-1 Saints. I'm taking the Patriots over the Saints in this one.
I'm going Mac
Patriots
Jones
by
the Patriots.
10.
I like them. Cardinals, Jaguars, no question.
Cardinals by
going
20.
3-0. Kyler Murray. I'm saying this one will go 38-12.
Yeah. They're going to blow them out.
12's a weird score, but I'm taking it.
It's going to be easy.
They got speedy receiver core. Even though they don't have Fitzgerald, who was like their veteran receiver, they have a great receiver core.
How about this one? 1-1 Washington in Buffalo, the 1-1 Bills. Matt loves his Bills. What about you, Mike?
I'm going Bills, but it's going to be a good, entertaining close one, so I'm going Bills.
10-14 points by Bills.
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad pick there. I'm kind of riding the Heineke high right now, though.
Did you all see
the
that?
offense.
What I said?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man, we'll talk about it later.
All right. But, I mean, this is an offense and a defense both ranking up there in the 20s right now. People want to hype this team up. I don't see it right now out of them. I like Heineke. I think Josh Allen looked a lot better in that game last week than he did against the Steelers. Obviously, the Steelers defense won it in the week 1.
Yeah.
Week 2, Bills went out there. They took it, I think, to do it again. They're 2-1 on this game. I got them winning it 20-10.
Yep.
All right, next game on here, 2-0 Broncos, 0-2 Jets. I got Teddy B and the Broncos taking this one 32-17.
So they're score 17?
I think so.
Okay.
They're moving to 3-0 here.
Okay.
Raiders.
Raiders 2-0, Dolphins 1-1. I love Derek Carr right now.
He's fit.
And potentially no Tua time in for the Dolphins. So I got the Raiders going 3-0 here. I think they take it 2 touchdowns.
Real quick, we talked a couple weeks ago, Alec and I, is Derek Carr elite? He is elite with the Raiders, and they're looking elite. Right
Yeah. So far, definitely.
So far.
Mike?
I'm going Raiders.
All right.
Raiders.
Seahawks at 1-1. Vikings at 0-2. 2 close games for them. I think this is where they come out with their first victory. I think it's close. I think they win this one by a touchdown.
I think it's their first victory at home. So
I hate to say it, but I think Vikings will pull it out.
All right. Final 2 games here. We'll obviously talk Cowboys, Eagles on Monday's show. So let's get down our final 2. 2-0 Buccaneers, 2-0 Rams. Matt, who's taking this one?
Whew. It's kind of a hard pick, but I got to go with TB12.
I'm going Rams because this, especially the next couple weeks, this is the only game that they could potentially lose.
Yeah.
So I'm picking this to be one of the games they lose. So I'm going Rams.
I don't know, man. We're still waiting for the defense to get in there,
man.
and you know what, Mike? I think I might just be going with you. I'm liking Matt Stafford out there in LA, but I'm not going to go with you. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
I like Brady.
You should go with me, then you should.
I like Brady with. I hate to say it, but Antonio Brown, man. I know he's been on the COVID.
Don't like him, but
he's doing good.
We said it in the past, but he's been playing good.
Yeah.
And then final game here Sunday night, the 1-1 Packers in San Fran to take on the 2-0 49ers.
Niners by 2 scores. Rodgers gets sacked 3 times.
I'm going Packers. I think Rodgers is going to have another good game.
Yeah.
I'm going Packers. I think Rodgers has a bounce-back game as well, coming off of a pretty good performance last week. I think he replicates it here against the 49ers. I have the Packers taking this one 28-17 against the Niners. And
I say Bosa goes off.
I think Bosa could still go off, and I think A-Rod can still have a good day out there.
We'll see.
That's good Sunday night match.
We'll have to see. Here, how about we get to this since we haven't gotten to it? College football playoff expansion has entered the negotiation stage. It probably won't happen until 2026. ESPN has the rights to the current college football playoff format until the 2025 season, so it would have to be expanded. They're trying to get in multiple different broadcasting organizations, so Fox would get something, CBS, ESPN, NBC. It really gets spread around, and we're talking a 12-team format. This isn't 8, this is 12. There's 10 conferences, 10 conference commissioners involved in talks, and Notre Dame's athletic director, since they aren't officially in a conference just yet. We'll see if that changes here at any point in time. But this is a big step for college football right now, going from 4-team to 12-team. They're still working out, so we don't really know, full things there. But put it in there. Quick thoughts on that, guys?
I mean, I like it. We said we want to see more. I mean, it's we got to wait a few more years for it, but I like what we're going to see from it.
Absolutely, I love it.
All right, next thing here on the show is we're wrapping up your speed round to end this thing. Highlight of the week from you guys, either from our show or Sports World. Mike, why don't you give us something?
Sports World. I don't have one yet, Matt. Go ahead.
Sports World.
Got a highlight?
Something you liked over this past week?
I mean, I like the. I mean,
you know what? No, I'm going with the Cowboys. They got the one call, so I'm going.
I hate to say it was over my Steelers, but Derek Carr, man. Something good.
No, actually, you know what? You know where I'm going? I'm going this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday. My Penn State won and my Cowboys won. So both my teams won. Dude, so there we go.
Derek Carr's been looking great.
Okay, my highlight of the week, I got to go the Oklahoma interception to seal the deal against Nebraska. I mean, that one is a fantastic shot right there. The one-handed diving interception to seal it. That's my highlight of the week. Hey, let's finish things off here the way we like to do it to end out the week. Matt, take it away here. This week's Meathead of the Week.
So this meathead of this week is a broadcaster. His name's Paul Allen, okay? And this is the guy who thought that a wide right kick was made. It was for the Vikings. If you go back and watch the clip on YouTube, he's like, "Oh my God, it's made!" And the guy's like, "Oh wait, no, it's missed."
And he was so hyped about it.
Yeah, he was so hyped. Like, I mean, I get it sometimes, after you've done it a couple times. But it was at least close. Sometimes. It was at least close. She missed it by an inch or so, the Howland kicker. Yeah. This was wide right, and this guy's an NFL broadcaster.
Right, they have the benefit of like 15 camera angles, beautiful press box with an open view, years of experience. I just finished my first year of broadcasting here, and I've had a few bad calls, a few misses that definitely were not through the uprights there. But
well, you know what? Hopefully, if it comes down to JFK on game-winning kick tonight, and hopefully you don't screw that.
He was like, watch it happen.
He was like, it is good. No, you missed it. You missed it right. He felt so remorsed about it. You know, you're a meathead.
Well, week 2, we're officially in the books. Thank you all for tuning into another week here at the Casual Sports Podcast on ysnlive.com. Make sure to tune in next week. Weekdays 2 to 3. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Best new show coming up here on YSN's network. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to hear Matt and I tonight in Warren G. Harding as the Warren JFK Eagles defend their home turf against the visiting Mogadore Wildcats. That's all for us this week. We'll see you next time. Maybe. Come on. We'll see you eventually. One of these days. We will see you next time.
We will see you next time.
Signing off. Sayonara.
See ya. Have a good weekend.
Adios.
Bye.
We're just going to get up and walk off the set.
Shut up and left.
Well. All right, how about Ohio State Akron this weekend?
Everybody.
CJ Stroud out of the quarterback. He's dealing with a shoulder injury here as we're waiting for someone to cut us off here eventually. We'll get to see who else is up for Ohio State, and that could be interesting. But that's going to do it. I'm Alec. That's Matt. That's Mike. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Not yet?
Make sure to tune in to Power Hour next on YSN Live at 3 p.m.
What is it on here and talk now? We're the Power Hour now.
We got a few extra minutes here. We can keep going. We can.
When we go get the weights out, we'll really make powerlifting hour.
Powerlifting hour.
Wait for somebody to cut us off. I don't know how this works.
What's this?
We don't have control of the broadcast.
We can keep going.
We can just keep going.
We're going full 2 hours today?
Yeah, we'll pull 2 hours.
We'll take Power Hour slot here.
Yeah, we'll just talk about...
I mean, we can go talk any other... I mean, there's so many college football games going on here. We could do it.
Yeah. Or we could just, make this into the...
I mean, Matt, Penn State Villanova, is that a challenge? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so at all.
I'm just trying to
I'm hoping Penn State takes that one by a large margin here, so we're waiting for YSN to cut us off. They can cut us off at any point. I'm Alec, that's Matt, that's Mike. Bye.
Bye. What are you
Nope, apparently not. We're still going here. It's 3 p.m.
Let's go.
You know what? We ain't got anywhere to be till, 7 o'clock tonight, so...
Is Power Hour happening? I mean...
I don't know. That's a good question. We're officially an hour. This is the longest show on YSN.
I think they want us to do Power Hour. So
DJ didn't text me anything, but you know what? I guess we're taking over Power Hour's time slot here on YSN.
So I'm Matt Morrison with Power Hour, and we got Alec on my left and Mike on my left here. It's your right.
Technical difficulties apparently, so we're gonna just keep going until somebody tells us to stop. How about I just bring up something here to talk about? Matt, we filled time before.
We filled time all the time.
Western
we are the kings of filling time.
Let's see how we can do this time. How about the App State Marshall game last night? There were some fun trick plays going on in that game too, and it was really fun to see.
Tricked out the camera last night.
Right,
yeah. That guy was a real meathead too. I mean,
how about some of these matchups?
Matt, you would have done it.
Yeah,
I think he has been faked out actually.
Yeah, I have a couple of times.
You definitely would have done that.
I have a couple of times.
How about tonight? Middle Tennessee at Charlotte. Probably not going to be much. We talked Wake Forest versus Virginia. That should be an interesting
Liberty's
game.
Playing Syracuse.
Liberty at the Cuse on ACC Network. Obviously, no one's going to be tuning into these games tonight. You're watching Mogador at Warren James.
That really is going to be a great game, though.
Tate Martell versus Fresno State.
Tate Martell, the rise of Martell at UNLV Rebels. Let's go.
There's some games to watch after you guys call.
Potential upset, not really. Number 2 Georgia at Vanderbilt. Shouldn't be anything really intense there. No. Utah State, Boise State, though.
How about Miami, Ohio? The Red Hawks taking on Army?
I like it.
Aren't
they good last week, though?
Yeah.
Bowling Green of Minnesota. Any chance of an upset, boys?
I don't know.
Probably not. How about this one? FIU at Central Mitch. I think I got 8B squad taking it.
Yeah.
Central Mitch.
We're officially 2 minutes into the Power Hour here.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't cut us off. Our producer at YSN, you can cut us off at any time. I'm Alec. That's Matt. That's Mike.
We're going to just keep talking. We're just going to keep talking until they cut us off. Right?
Yeah, okay. So we're just going to keep going here.
We just keep saying bye in case we get cut off, but we're still here.
Yeah. I mean, they talk about food on Power Hour. Let's talk about food.
Oh, dude, I had some good pizza today.
Dude, I
went down to Republic. I got 2 white pizzas.
Dude,
I was down there with my fiance for lunch. It was great.
I went to Hot Heads. All right. I got the bowl at Black Beans.
Right?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Listen.
And we went last week.
I got steak and chicken with it this time. It's so cool.
My roommate's peeking in. Yeah, we haven't been cut off yet. We're just going over, apparently. No one's taking us out, so go ahead, have fun. Do whatever.
Have fun, do whatever you want.
We're kicking back here, but, man, Republic's got some really good pizza.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. Their white pizza with the mozzarella on it, it's killer.
Matt, good.
It's killer.
Yeah.
Good. You had it? Yeah. Oh, so good.
Good place to hang out, too. They have nice it's laid back atmosphere.
I'm best friends with the owner, the cooks, the bartenders. I know everybody there.
Yeah, well, that might be the problem, man. You go there way too often.
Well,
but I mean, that's probably like
taking a break.
It's either Republic or Hot Heads he goes to. So Matt needs to mix it up.
The Steelers.
I think this is. I think Republic's probably one of the best 3 pizza places to get stuff at. I got Avalon, Avalon, Republic, and if you're looking more chain, Pizza Joe's. I really like their stuff.
Dude, there's a lot more.
Even Balleria isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's just right up the street here too.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Uptown, your Inner Circle in Poland. Everything's around here.
And man, I wish Inner Circle was still here.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
If you want to head right down to Boardman, it's just a 20-minute drive.
And but we lost a good place here on campus.
I think they need to add another restaurant there with that abandoned building.
I mean, I'm hoping so.
Any ideas of what they should make that into?
I don't know.
Something. I mean, something for us to go to check out and stuff.
Yeah.
We're still live. You're waiting for someone at YSN to cut us off. So we're talking food right now. What are you guys doing for dinner tonight?
I ate dinner. Alex, pop in here. What do you got here to eat here? Come on into the Power Hour.
We're talking about food.
We got food. You got Hot Heads?
We got Hot Heads. No, more Hot Heads.
Explain it out here.
Chicken bowl with white rice.
Them down so they see you.
So.
We're getting casual here tonight.
Really putting the casual.
Dude, I was there. Oh man.
Matt's been there every day this week. So.
Yeah. Mike, you caught me on, dude. Mike, you're like, man, let's go to Hudson. I'm like, all right.
That was last week. I haven't gone there since.
That wasn't last week. That was this week.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Monday.
Why do I feel like that was longer ago?
Whatever,
but I still haven't been back there since. You've been back there like 3 times since then.
Oh, man. Well, I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right. Well, Matt's heading off the show.
How
about this one? Missouri at Boston College. Mike, any chance that Mizzou gets upset there? I mean, I don't even know if that's an upset. SEC versus SEC?
Possibly. I like BC.
I like BC too. I don't know if they have the positions this year. I don't think Missouri does either. I take Boston College in that one.
New Hampshire Pitt. How about that?
That's a game Pitt needs to win, honestly. If we're talking here.
Especially a game that should have won last week, too, against Central Michigan, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a bad one. How about we'll give a correction here of the game we were talking about yesterday. Notre Dame, Wisconsin's not in Wisconsin. It's a neutral site game in Chicago, Illinois at Soldier Stadium. So.
Well, I think it's cool it's in Soldier Stadium, but I wish it was still at Camp Randall. I mean, you saw the environment they had so far this season, but what do you think about that one?
I don't know. I think that should be.
We talked about it yesterday, but it's a big game for both teams.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the return of Jack Cohn to Wisconsin. He struggled in Wisconsin, but it's a return to playing his former team, I guess I should say.
Yeah. So there's some headlines coming around that one.
We know he's used to throwing to teams other than Wisconsin, so perhaps that's why he's doing so good for Notre Dame.
Taking shots.
Got to, Ohio at Northwestern. Chance of a MACA upset of the Big Ten. I mean, Northwestern's kind of having a down season. I think Ohio is just as bad, though, so I think Northwestern takes this.
Here's my thing. I think Northwestern takes this. I mean, they've had a disappointing start after what they did last year, but you don't ever look MAC teams. I mean, it's more so in college basketball, but they have some good teams in college football.
Here's a very winnable game up next year: Virginia Tech and Richmond in VT. I think that's no question right there. Virginia Tech takes that by probably 40 in that game. SMU at TCU. We're still going, Matt. SMU is
back in.
Let's text DJ, see what's going on.
You're gonna get us cut off, Matt. SMU at TCU. I think that's a good game. SMU is the team that's always kind of runs it right to them. So
Shmoo. I like Shmoo.
Yeah.
SMU, you get it?
Smooth, yeah. What about Tiku?
I don't know. No comment.
Okay, yeah, Who wins? TCU, SMU?
I'm going the Pony Express.
I'll go TCU, the Horned Frogs. What an awful name, Horned Frogs. I mean, can we just stop here and talk? TCU, Horned Frogs.
Their mascot looks like very weird.
Texas Christian University, Horny Frogs.
That goes good together.
Right. LSU and Mississippi State, a good one there in the SEC. Any thoughts about this game, boys? LSU, a big chance here to kind of get things started this season in SEC play?
I don't know. I'm going Mississippi State.
I'll take LSU in this. How about Wagner at Temple? I got Temple taking this one. They've stuck it to a few good teams this year already, so
yeah.
I would say Temple's got the chance here. CCSU at Miami, Florida. I think I got Miami winning this despite them not looking so good. They're taking on the FCS. So
it's a game they definitely should win.
If they don't win, we got some serious questions. UMass at number 17. The Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina.
We're going to get that flag.
It's coming.
It's coming. And maybe
we'll put ours here next, Matt.
Maybe we're going to
so everybody can see it right.
We're going to try and get the casual sports flag. We talked a little bit about that potentially.
If you do want any Casual Sports Report merchandise,
check
us out on Twitter at Casual Sports Rep. And in our bio, we have a merchandise link. So if you want anything here for merchandise stuff or give us any suggestions of what we should put in there, talk to us on Twitter at Casual Sports Rep or on Facebook or Instagram. Preferably not Facebook. We don't use it too much. Instagram at Casual Sports Report. Man. We also have a TikTok going on there as well. So
thank God we're not off air because guess what, Alec? Your buddy's coming back. Josh Gordon has been informed by the NFL that he's being reinstated and is expected to be eligible as early as week 4. So you want to rip into that a little bit?
You know what? No, I really don't, actually, because they said he's completed his rehab thing once more. They put him through stuff. And I hope it works out from this time.
Me too.
They gave him the time off to get help. They said he completed, all the help they think he needs. And I hope he can come back and perform this time.
Now, will he
this
still
is a
be
guy that is
with Seattle still?
I think he still is on the contract there.
Good.
I'm not entirely sure on that how that's.
That'd be great for us.
Stay.
He's a great receiver.
I'm gonna grab my water.
If he didn't run into the problems, I think the Browns would still have him.
Right, I mean, he's a great wide receiver, and it's just like AB. He's a great guy. We don't really know what we're going to get second time around with him, or third, fourth, fifth time around. We're not really sure, but interesting there. How about? So we said Chanticleers over UMass.
Yeah.
San Jose State, one of the worst football programs in football history, at Western Michigan. I think that's one Western takes. What about you guys?
Chanticleers.
No reason to go against.
All right, Texas State playing in Gray Field at Eastern Michigan. There, they got a weird looking field. I think EM takes it at home. The Emus prevail.
Heck yeah. Yep.
Toledo at Ball State. I've liked Toledo so far. Obviously, Ball State put in a decent game against. Wasn't it Penn State?
I mean,
they played okay.
They played okay.
I think for a MAC opponent coming in there,
I
think Toledo looks really strong. You guys picked them to take the MAC in our first show back on our YouTube channel, so I think Toledo takes this one here against Ball State.
Sure, I want to talk about this for a second.
Ball State's been on a roll.
UConn's football team, anybody who's going to play them, they're going to beat them. You can just count that as an automatic win. You know how we count Rutgers? Yeah, like not
Rutgers
this year.
Undefeated.
Not this year, but recent years. Like, oh, we're playing Rutgers, we're gonna win. That's UConn. But they're playing Wyoming this week. Go Wyoming.
Wyoming's normally pretty tough.
They're pretty tough too.
Not good, but they at least battle.
We'll get down there.
They've had some good players.
Maine at Northern Illinois.
I don't know. Maine, go Maine.
NIU.
I got NIU there. Washington State at Utah. That's a good one there. The Pac-12. But I think the Utes take that one.
Washington State has had that flag on game day for like how many times?
A while.
A long time.
I don't know what the official count is.
He's been still going.
I think it's over like 300 or something.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
It's gotta be something.
It is ridiculous. They just pack it up and take it with them though, so it's not like somebody actually brings it out there.
Oh, hey,
Washington State really just hasn't been the same since they lost Gardner Minshew though.
Yeah.
And we got cars beeping outside, motorbikes going past, my roommate's walking on the show. We're going 11 minutes over the timing here. Power Hour's not cutting us off. We've texted DJ and they've let us go here. So
somebody's got to be there. Somebody put us on in the first place. So.
Yeah, they put us on, then everybody left to go to their games tonight, eat an early dinner. We're just going to be talking here. Matt and I are going to take the camera with us to Mogador, keep the podcast live for the next, 7 hours. Take the podcast to Mogador.
I mean, you got
to actually go to the Mogador Warren JFK game,
just down the road.
Yeah, just up there.
What are you saying, Matt?
We can take the camera down and multitask.
It would be interesting to see getting all of this gear into my car.
Getting it back out. Yeah.
Getting it back out without anything disconnected.
You can get some blog action going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see me driving. We won't do Matt, then we'll get in trouble that way.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
Man, I don't know why we're still live here. We're 12 minutes in. If anybody's still watching, congratulations to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody's watching, say something in the chat there.
Look up world record for the longest show ever.
Oh, God.
Oh, we're on the beat. We've hit 3 hours.
We have totally not had that beat, guys. Come on.
Let's see if we can Google it and see if we can do it.
What's our record? What's our personal
We've
record?
gone...
It was, 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours?
At least 3 hours.
We can go, man. We can talk, as you know.
If you give us 10 minutes to put something together. What's that there?
Is that them right now?
I don't know.
It says 1 hour ago.
Is that them?
Yeah, they're on the puck. That's odd. I don't know. I think we're having some glitches here at YSN.
Maybe. I don't think... Are we even
is that real? That says an hour ago.
It's a shocker, I know. But
all right, we're going to put the
you sit in the front row,
Power Hour up here.
For example, at a Cavs game, people bring you your beer.
And that's the only line we're going to use for Power Hour. I don't know if we're actually still going live or not. We're looking into things here. Let's go to Facebook.
Until we actually get an answer, we're just going to stay on.
Yeah, we're staying on until we get an answer. It says you're in the show. And
it's a very good possibility that something is glitched out.
It says live there.
It says live.
Oh, we're saying live. Yeah,
we're live too.
Should we get off?
Look, there we are.
Nah, we're staying on here. Taking over YSN.
2 people are watching us.
We're one of them.
There's
one person watching still on
who's
Facebook.
The other one? Comment here.
Comment here if you hear us. I know you're watching. Oh, wait, they left.
Oh, darn.
Which is delayed here. Now you're just putting your arms up.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a bit of a delay in there, but...
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a delay. It's okay. I'm one.
yeah.
That's you.
Huh. Well, this is interesting, folks.
John Camerta, and thanks for watching.
Yeah,
John.
thank you.
Go back up to their shot.
Yeah. We're live. It says we're live.
You know what? A little bit of self-promotion on here.
Sports is still live.
Still alive.
Why you ask?
We are YSN.
That's off. So come check us out.
Instead.
In-house rivalry.
In-house rival?
Let's see if that'll work.
Oh my god.
Hopefully somebody sees this.
I mean, I hope so. Hashtag in-house rivalry. Let's see what they say,
yeah. We're gonna watch our show's watching their show.
Concert tonight.
This is how you do it, man.
And those are rare as well.
Promoting the brand.
Probably the
Got to. They're on a little bit of a delay too,
concert
so.
I've gone to since I've been
You
married.
know,
That's
what an
15
interesting
years,
show
so.
this one is.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
This could be the best one we ever have.
You know, I mean, hey. Go on. So, well, let's keep going here on our side of things till we
yes,
officially
we
get cut
better.
off. Louisville, Florida State.
EB.
Matt, I keep going first. You go first.
Florida State, man.
You got Florida State?
I
Louisville.
like their quarterback. I like
State?
I like
They
his
suck.
story. I like his story.
Okay, but do you think they're gonna win though, or
I mean,
I like a lot of people's story. Doesn't mean I'm
Who are
ever
they
going to pick
playing?
I like
them.
our three
Louisville.
stories.
oh god. Okay.
You
Louisville.
realize what we're talking about.
I like our stories too, but that's
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to take us to win a football game against the
Louisville,
Steelers.
yeah, Louisville.
Iowa State at Baylor, number 14. Iowa State potentially getting challenged here by their Big 12 foe.
You go Iowa
Baylor.
State. Baylor's just falling off the cliff, so.
Yeah, all right. I got Iowa State too. I like them in this matchup
I
here.
think-
We're still going here. Wyoming, UConn. Wyoming. Cool.
Wyoming.
Moving on there. UTSA at Memphis. UTSA has a big win on the season already. I think they take it to the Tigers here and take home a win.
I'm going Memphis. Just go against you.
Oh, man. How dare.
Matt, you paying attention?
Yeah, I'm getting on Facebook to keep an eye on that.
All right. Next game up there, Towson at San Diego State. San Diego State's a team that's kind of interesting. I mean, they've been good in recent, in a few seasons ago. They've had some strong years as well. I think they're back on the down low once again, but I think they're going to come back up here sooner rather than later. I like them. I think they obviously take this one against Towson.
Me too.
I agree.
Kent State at Maryland. Can the Golden Flashers upset the Terrapins
No.
on the East Coast? Matt says no.
I'm gonna say yes.
You think they will?
Kent State.
I just want
Kent State's had a rough schedule, man, so far.
They have.
I mean, what? Texas A&M, I know was one of them. Iowa, I think, was in there, potentially.
They've held their ground somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this. I
I'm
kind
just
of...
trying to make it interesting here
Yeah.
because we're going over. I'm just trying to pick something different against you guys.
I like Maryland. Give it the Big Ten. Illinois at Purdue, Big Ten matchup here at 3:30 on BTN. What are your guys' thoughts on this one?
Boilermakers.
Boilermaker?
Boilermakers.
We'll have to get a Boilermaker out for the Boilermakers
Heck yeah,
here.
let's make
Colorado State, number 5. Iowa, no upset in sight. The Hawkeyes going to take this one, no problem.
Defense is gonna lock it up.
All right. We're